This is my final CS50 project, and it's based on the last PSET, which was PSET 7 CS50 Finance. I've obviously changed the name. We've got CS50 Capital Management. So yeah, well, let's log in as a Scroob and see what this is all about. Okay. So anyway, I did some tidying up on the front page because my PSET 7 homework was well, I think I expressed it a bit of a dog's dinner, but it looks slightly neat. I've learned to use these little pills to make navigation neater. Anyway, let's go and see what this is all about. I'm Zach, and I'm based in England, in the middle in Staffordshire. I've got a bit of an interest in shares, so I decided to build myself a little portfolio analysis tool. There are two things which are quite important when you deal with shares. Is one of them is stock correlation. So I built a little correlation calculator, and another one is your total stock portfolio beta, which is how your portfolio moves with respect to a benchmark, which in this case was the S&P 500. So let's go and have a look at what a stock correlation calculator is all about then. So let's say you've heard the idea of always having to spread your eggs when you, well, spread your eggs in different baskets or not carry all the eggs in one basket. Similar to shares. Let's have a look if we decided to buy shares in Ford and in Boeing because we want to spread our risk. See, both of the shares are fairly correlated, so they're about 0.65 correlation factor, which means they both tend to move in the same direction. So if one share goes up, the other one goes up too. I'll show you an example of maybe something that is slightly less correlated. Or is it? You'd expect a technology company earlier, which was Yahoo, against Ford, to not be very correlated. But you can see how high it is. It's got 0.88 correlation factor. So it's something you should all take into account when you're buying shares, is to make sure your shares are not correlated. The calculation actually works by taking historical data of both the shares and calculating how they move with respect to each other. You can have a look on Wikipedia to see how it works. Let's move over to the next part of the tool. So my next part of the tool is something to do with portfolio analysis. It actually looks at how violently your portfolio will be moving with respect to S&P 500. If you look at the first share, Autodesk, they make CAD software, and that's got a beta of above 1, which means it moves in the same direction as the S&P 500, but it moves even more violently. So if the S&P 500 is going up, the Autodesk shares will generally move up much more, and conversely, the S&P is coming down, it'll come down much more. As you can see, Boeing, the defense contractor, moves at 0.77, and Yahoo doesn't move as much as the S&P 500, which is also quite interesting over there because you'd expect a technology stock to be moving much more violently. But it all shows, because you've all got a positive number over here, they all move in the same direction as the S&P, which means if the S&P is going up, quite likely all your shares are going up, and if the S&P goes down, it's quite likely all your shares are going down. The total stock portfolio is about 0.72, so literally this actually says you've got about 0.72% of the volatility of the S&P in the same direction of the S&P. Anyway, I hope that you found my presentation fairly interesting. I'm on the cs50x Facebook pages. I do contribute quite a bit over there. Thank you very much to the CS50 team, especially Doc Malin. Well, this was CS50.